All right. Praise the Lord. It's me, Ari Dusted, or as I know me, Rashid. It's night over here, and I'm recording another live stream for you. And, well, let me see. Where can I go? I'm just walking around here, enjoying the evening air. So, again, at the 4-minute mark, I'll begin with the teaching. So the first 4 minutes of the people to come in. And when you're here, please let me know in the live chat, please. Thank you very much. When you're here, let me know in the live chat. Thank you. Again, it's evening. As you can see, I'm walking outside. It's why it's dark. It's before midnight. There's still a lot of cars. You can still even hear a lot of cars passing by. Most of the midnights went quiet around here. So again, if you're here, let me know in the live chat, please. Thank you. I'm going to stand or sit somewhere where I don't get much noise from the traffic. Not the traffic's that loud, but still. I want you to be able to hear me clearly. The Lord is good. Hey, Suzanne, thanks for being here. And all the others that are watching. Still 2 minutes before I begin teaching. I see Amber's here also. Thanks for being here, Amber. All right, I can cross the roads now. Right. 1 more minute before I begin teaching. I think I found the perfect spot. All right. Let's see. Tammy's here. Victor in him is here. Great to have you here. AM is here also. Bonjour. That's good. So let's see. Oh, I can sit over there. Is someone sitting there or not? I'm just looking for a place to sit. And I can begin the teaching. Oh, it's 4-minute mark already? Okay, let me just begin. Backwards knowledge. Hold on. I need to shift this off. Okay, can you all hear me? There was something off with the connection. Can everyone hear me? Let me know in the live chat, please. Okay. Backwards knowledge. What is it? It's knowledge that appears beneficial to you, but when you actually examine the knowledge puts you in a detrimental situation. Because what is knowledge anyway? Knowledge is experience on how to deal with something. Okay. Let me see if I can sit over here. Or Yes, I can see it here. Take off my back. So, knowledge is experience how to deal with something. Information is just data about something. For example, a bicycle. You can have information about the bicycle when the bicycle was invented, which is 1816. You can learn how bicycles developed over time. You can have information about the different types of bicycles that are around there. You can even know how to ride the bicycle. But if you have experience riding a bicycle in traffic, then you know, for example, that when you're in traffic on a bicycle, you have to often pay attention to the car. So sometimes it appears like a car is slowing down, but the car is actually not slowing down. So that's the knowledge you gain about bicycles. So when you are involved in something, you gain knowledge. So information is just data. But when you build experience using data, that's knowledge. Okay? And knowledge that has been established in a community is wisdom. So again, information is just data, something you know. Whether you read it in a textbook, or someone told you it, or you did your research to find out, that's data. That's information. Information put in practice gives you experience, and this experience is knowledge, how to relate to something. For example, you can have data on how to make an apple pie. You can even know the whole history of the apple pie. But after making several apple pies, you now know that, you know what, maybe it's better not to put that much sugar in an apple pie. Now, maybe it's better to preheat your oven. That's knowledge. And wisdom is when this experience has been established in the community and documented in prescriptions on how to do apple pies by professionals. That's wisdom. So wisdom is knowledge that's been validated by a community. Do you understand the difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom? Let me know in the live chat. It's quite important you understand the distinction between these three before I continue. You understand the difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom? Let me know in the live chat, please. So, let me know. Okay, Maria understands. What about the rest? Does the rest understand it also? Okay, Amber understands it. That's good. So now, when I speak about backwards knowledge can also be called dark knowledge when it takes an occult context. But I'm not talking about occult context now, because that's dark knowledge. I already spoke about dark knowledge a while back. Backwards knowledge. Backwards knowledge is when you get instructions about how to deal with the situation, but the way you deal with the situation will backfire on you. Let me give an example of backwards knowledge. Standing up for yourself. Parents may tell you stand up for yourself, don't take effort, have some self-respect, set boundaries. So your parents may tell you this, and your parents mean well, likely, okay? But then, in reality, when you put this into practice by standing up for yourself, you end up in trouble. For example, let's say your parents tell you, if someone hits you, you hit them back. I don't want to hear that you've been beat up by some bully. You better hit back or else I will beat you up. Now, in the black community, this tends to happen. Not all the time, but it happens. I even hear it with my own ears. Make sure you hit them back or else I'm going to hit you. Because I don't want to have you not acting like a man. Be a man, stand up for yourself, and hit them back. Yeah, okay. So a lot of young boys in the black community, they grow up with this instruction, and they also experience that if they don't hit back, their own family will turn on them. So they don't want that trauma. So it's not only the black community, okay, but I'm using the black community of which I'm from as an example. So a lot of black boys, they take this advice. So they now develop the mindset, I need to watch out, nobody takes advantage of me. Because if they take advantage of me and I don't do something back, oh, people are going to turn on me, something bad's going to happen. They develop a fearful attitude. And this fearful attitude makes them, makes them kind of suspicious all the time. They develop a suspicious personality. And this suspicious personality causes them to feel offended quickly. And because they're easily offended, they think, oh, I've been wronged, and just set something straight. And then it happens that someone says something they don't like, and they feel hurt, and they lash out. Let's say the other individual lashes out back. Now you have a whole fist fight, which can turn deadly, because these days, people don't do fist fights as much. They come with guns, or they come with knives. So now he's in a situation that, even if he gets out of the situation, he may face medical bills because he needs to go to the hospital to get stitched, or maybe he'll get legal issues because he may be prosecuted for assault or for disrupting public order, or maybe people will see him as a bad guy for being involved in a fight, so they don't want to do him anymore, so he loses relationships also. So in this case, what the parents instruct is stand up for yourself. They may not have been so extreme as in the black community saying you better fight back or else, but just this instruction to stand up for yourself, it backfired. Or let's say now that you have a reprobate, okay? And the reprobate just wants to explode to be relevant. He or she, because you also have female reprobates, it's just out of the mind, just want to explode. They're dangerous people. Let's say a reprobate comes and looks for a fight. They, for example, walk towards you and spit in your face. Or you're with your wife and they insult your wife by calling her a bitch or a hoe or whatever. You think, whoa, this is a violation. So you think I'm the man. I shouldn't take this. So you want to put the guy in his place by slapping him, whatever. Or let's say someone comes towards you and slaps you in the face out of the blue. Now, if you slap them back out of a reflex and just walk away, that's different, okay? But if you keep on slapping them just to put them in their place and to make plain, I'm not taking this, I said, I'm for myself, what's going to happen? You become the aggressor, you become the perpetrator, and when police comes, you're the one going to prison. Even though he was the one that started the fight, you ended the fight. And by you ending the fight, you're guilty. So what you should have done was, you know what? If you're with your wife, or they act out of line, you say, honey, let's get out of here. Just walk away. When you walk away, you psychologically shut down the perpetrator. But because you engaged the trigger of the perpetrator, you now participated in their violence. And by you participating in their violence, you became dirty. Look, you cannot wrestle with a pig and not get dirty. Pigs love to hang around in dirt, in the mud. So when a pig comes out of the mud and begins to wrestle with you, the mud of the pig will make you as just muddy as the pig. You can't wrestle with pigs and remain clean. So the instruction, stand up for yourself, it sounds good. It sounds practical. People tell you, they even tell you teach people how to treat you. No, a reprobate just treats people like shit because they're shitty people. You don't teach them how to treat you. They tell you that it's your responsibility to make sure everyone treats you well, even though it's other people treating you a certain way. That's quite weird. Others treat you badly, and it's your fault how they treat you because you need to teach them how to treat you. That's backwards. But a lot of people believe that. So they take the charge on them to make sure others treat them well. And they end up being controlling, they end up being violent, and they end up losing their mind. So, standing up for yourself, having self-respect, enforcing boundaries, that's backwards knowledge. Because when you put it in practice, it can easily be used against you and trap you in worse situations. Do you follow me now? And do you understand the example I gave of standing up for yourself? Let me know in the live chat, please. All right, there's just one example. Now, backwards knowledge, the reason why we often fall for it is because we don't examine what we're being taught. backwards knowledge appears good because backwards knowledge does give you some reward. The reward is that you took matters in your own hands. You didn't take shit from anyone. But that's the only reward you'll get. Apart from that emotional sensation of you taking matters in your own hands, you have to deal with all the side effects, all the harmful effects come from it. Some people end up in prison because they stood up for themselves. Some people ended up dying because they stood up for themselves. Someone was looking angry at them in the bus. The individual began to scream at them. And they thought, hey, you're not going to scream against me. The individual jumped on them, and they ended up fighting the individual. And the individual picked up a small knife and stabbed them, and they died. While the individual was looking at them there, they should just step out of the bus. Or they should have played like they were stoned. If someone is looking angry at you out of the blue and should act like you're crazy or you're stoned, it's going to humiliate them to keep fighting you, then do that and get out of the situation. But a lot of people were told by the parents, stand up for yourself, don't take shit. And they act on it, and some of them die even. That's why they tell the bigger man walks away. Walking away will make you feel stupid, especially if you just have been humiliated by someone. Walking away will make you feel stupid. I admit it, it will. But when you walk away, what happens? You're out of the situation. Oh, by the way, this football field over here. There's some people playing football, or I think it's a training. That's why you see the lights coming. But anyway. And thanks for saying that, Christopher Alexander, because I want to go towards that. Leaving the situation. Okay, let me explain one thing to you. If a bad situation occurs, the best way to deal with that situation is by leaving the situation. Okay, I meant to repeat this so that you can understand this. If a bad situation occurs, whatever the bad situation is, the best way to deal with the situation is to leave the situation. Why? Leaving the situation doesn't make you a coward. This is what's going on. Let's say that, okay, let me give another example to you, okay? Let's say you have a criminal, okay? And this criminal, he robbed several shops. Let's say he robbed a supermarket over there. Now, he wore gloves, so there are no fingerprints. He wore a mask. But the thing is, he uses loud voice to get the money and to leave. Let's say he robbed a supermarket. Do you seriously think that same criminal the next day or a few days later is going to get his groceries from the same supermarket he robbed? What do you think? Let me know in the live chat. Will that guy who just robbed the supermarket go into his groceries there again? No. One individual said no. Why wouldn't he do it? What do you think? Why do you think he will not do that? Let me know in the live chat. Another football training over here. Okay. Now, someone says some will do to get a rush out of it. But those are exceptions. Those are completely out of your mind. The thing is, if you just robbed a place, okay, they didn't see your face, okay, because you cover your face, but your body posture, there may be a camera that shows the figure of your body. The camera would have picked how you walk, okay? So next time you're there, you see, unless you gained a lot of weight or lost weight, you still have the same body figure. So they may recognize you, or they may recognize your voice. And psychologically, you just committed a crime over there. So the chance, because you're putting yourself at the risk to be discovered. And once you are discovered, you're arrested, you'll spend years behind bars. So no criminal in their right mind would commit a crime and linger around the crime scene. They may stay at a distance if they're a sadist just to check the harm they've done. That's when they're sadists, but even then, they will not put themselves at risk by keep coming to the same crime scene. You know why? Because they know that if they put themselves at risk, it may go wrong. So they caused a bad situation, And now they stay away from the bad situation. The bad situation caused trauma in the community. The supermarket has been robbed, so people are cautious around there. So it's a bad situation because of what just happened. And they caused the bad situation. They don't keep themselves in the same bad situation they've created. I'm going to repeat that. Criminals don't keep themselves in the same bad situation they created. Because they know if they keep themselves in the bad situation they've created, that bad situation is going to destroy them. Now let's go a bit further. Think about the reprobate, or as some would say, narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, whatever. I'm using the biblical term reprobate. The reprobate, when they realize that they can't win the argument, when they realize that they're about to be caught, and let's say there's something they have to lose, they're going to leave. Because the reprobate knows if they keep fighting and the fight escalates, it will expose themselves. So that's why sometimes the narcissist, or you can say the reprobate, they suddenly ghost you. They stop arguing with you. Because they don't want to remain in the same bad situation they've created. Now, if perpetrators of wrong and perpetrators of evil, if they have the common and natural sense, if they're using their brain to realize, you know what, I create this bad situation. If I stay in this bad situation, I could put myself at risk. So they leave the bad situation they've created. What often happens with us? We are told by society to stand up for ourselves, to defend ourselves, and to put people in their place, and to not take shit from anyone, and to set boundaries. So let me get this straight. Someone else generates a bad situation. That's what they've done. You are upset that you generated this bad situation. So you think, I don't want to take this. So you think I'm going to do something about it. Now, it's a noble thing to want to do something about it. But before you do something about it, first check what's going on. If the individual is just a criminal who's just robbing a store just to pay bills, now you can negotiate with them to turn themselves in and look for a solution. But if it's a reprobate who just wants to explode by destroying people, you cannot do anything about it. You need to walk away. The thing is, too often, when people bring negativity to us, we want to turn on the negativity they bring to us. They bring negativity to us, and we want to turn on them or on the negativity. Maybe we don't turn on the perpetrator, but we turn on the negativity, because we don't want this. And we make plain we don't want this by taking action against whatever they bring or doing to us. And by doing that, we remain in the bad situation they've brought towards us. And by you remaining in the bad situation they brought to you, you're not participating in the same bad situation. Eventually, you become co-responsible for the bad situation. Why? Because if you would have left the situation, it would have been on you. If someone if you're with your wife, if someone begins to call your wife a hoe, a bitch, and because they say hurtful things, and you and your wife walk away, what happens? You just dodge away the bad situation by not going in on it. But if you think, what do you say? You call my wife a bitch, say that to my face. Huh? Nigga, say to my face. Well, what? You want to slap you? Huh? If you do that, what's going to happen? You invested in the bad situation they proposed to you. So when that guy came towards you and your wife, trying to escalate and to call your wife all type of nasty things, because of lack of self-worth, you thought you have to defend yourself, defend the honor of your wife by doing something about the guy. Because you thought, if I allow this to happen, more people are going to do it. So you, from a fearful point of view, you thought I need to do something about it. And by doing that, let me tell you this, that guy initiated trouble, and you invested in the trouble by taking trouble seriously. Now look, if someone is walking towards you with a gun, I'm not saying you have to ignore it, absolutely not. You have to face the situation. You face the situation, but you don't invest in the situation. Learn that. Face the situation, but don't invest in the situation. The more you do this, the less grip Satan has over you. And that is an interesting thing. Haven't you noticed that when a criminal is arrested, they call for their lawyer because they know if they start talking, everything they say can be used against them. So they are arrested. So that's a bad situation for them. So they know that they can't just walk away from the bad situation, but they're not going to invest in the bad situation. So they call their lawyer, and the lawyer talks with the police for them. And it works in the favor of the defendant. What if the police is trying to set you up? You're innocent, but the police is trying to set someone up. Don't think you can talk your way out of the situation, because the police already made up their mind they're going to frame you. So you call your lawyer, and your lawyer will see through it, and your lawyer will point out, they tried to set up my client, and you'll get off. So, when a bad situation is presented to you or thrown at you, dodge it by not investing in the situation. And by the way, let's say someone insulted your wife and you end up fighting them and smack them around. Even when people agree that you're right, you shouldn't insult your wife like that. Even when people are upset with the men for starting trouble, people will be upset with you too. Because now, people witness the drama, and the drama embarrassed them. So now they're going to blame you for being embarrassed. They should blame the perpetrator who verbally abused your wife. They should do that. But they're going to blame you because it's easier to blame you. Why? Because that guy who started the fight, he's dirty anyway. So he doesn't even care. And that guy that's dirty, he's likely in prison now or in the hospital after you beat him up. But every time they see you, they are remembered of the embarrassing situation. So now they feel triggered against you. So even when you defend yourself and people admit you're right, even the police says you're right, people are still going to be remembered of the bad situation by you. And here's the thing, if that guy insulted your wife and you have to defend yourself and your wife, what did the other people do? The other people didn't do anything. So everyone's going to think, hold on a minute. This guy had to deal with that perpetrator alone. We didn't do anything, so actually we allowed it to happen. And because people don't feel guilty for their neglects, they're going to blame you. When you are under attack and you do something about it, it's going to make the public look bad. Because the public should have never allowed it to happen to you. Or when it was happening, the public should have intervened. But because the public did not intervene, you had to deal with it yourself. And by you dealing with yourself, you reveal the neglect of the community. And once the community has to deal with its neglect, they're going to turn on you. That is how they are. So that's another side people don't realize. When you're under attack and you do something about it, that means that the community didn't do anything about it. That means the community is guilty of neglect. And people don't want to hear that about themselves. So anytime they see you dealt with the situation, while they didn't do anything, they're going to be angry with you. That's the psychology of worldly people. So again, if there is a bad situation, get out of the bad situation first, and then check what can you do about the situation. Too often, we're trapped in a bad situation. Instead of admitting we're trapped in a bad situation, we try to save ourselves from a bad situation. And we can do that, and we can save ourselves from a bad situation by using trickery or violence or even black magic or witchcraft, whatever. It will work, but eventually when you're out of the situation, people will remember that you participate in the situation, and they're going to blame you for it. Now, can you prevent bad situations from happening all the time? No, that's not possible. That's not even what Christ expects you to do. Just realize when a bad situation occurs, get out first. Okay? Does that mean that you're going to just allow things to happen? Like if people treated you badly. Let's say you're at a restaurant. Let's say you're at Wendy's. I'm just using an example here. Let's say you're at Wendy's eating your burger, and some people enter in looking angry at you. They keep looking angry at you and think, what the heck's wrong with these people? And eventually the manager tells you to leave. You think to yourself, hold on a minute. I'm a customer. I came in, I didn't bother anyone, I ordered my burger, now I'm eating over here. These people come and look angry at me, begin to shout all of that. You just want me to leave? It's unjust that you have to leave while the perpetrator is still over there. It's unjust situation. You know what? Regular unjust is to get out of there. You know why? Because once you're out of there, you're out of danger. You can't do anything to you anymore. You're out of their reach. And then you can report it to the incident, and then you can take action against it. But if you stay in the situation, you are likely to upset other people because people ask you to leave and you don't leave. Now here's the thing. You purchase your food, so you have a right to sit there and eat it. That's true. But if the manager asks you to leave, you leave. Because if you don't leave, the police can't tell you that you have a right to be there, absolutely, because you ordered your food. The manager may turn on you. If the manager turns on you, then the manager looks bad. The customers will feel bad about it, and nobody's going to win. Even if the manager later apologizes to you, I was wrong for turning on you. I should have kicked those other people out. People are still going to blame you because you pointed out the neglect. You get me? Am I saying, let's say you are, I'm not saying that just because people are upset with you, they have a right to expel you out of the blue. No, they don't. But when people are wrong and they refuse to admit they're wrong, they are delusional. And delusional people are dangerous people. Look, if you paid rent for your flat and people want you to leave the neighborhood, you're not going to just leave because you paid rent. Come on now. Even police officers tell you, come on, sir, you paid rent and now you want to leave because people are upset with you? No. Okay? In that case, you can say F you. But if you notice that the people escalate the situation by leaving death threats to your house, and you have people following your children around, now you realize, you know what? Even though I paid rent, so people have no business expelling me from here, you know what? I'm going to leave anyway, because these people are determined to lose their shit on me, and I can't bring back my children from the dead if they end up killing my children. I can't resurrect myself if they end up killing me, so you know what? I'm going to leave the situation because these people are getting out of line. You get me? So again, just because people are upset with you doesn't justify them turning on you. Absolutely not. But if those people are not willing to be realistic, then just avoid those people. Because this is what you need to understand. If people turn on you and you put them in their place, you put them in a place humiliates them. They're not going to forget about this. Also going to be angry with you. Even if they don't physically attack you, they're going to be angry against you. And this anger, they're going to take it out on other people around them. And the people around them are going to notice how angry they are with you. And look at this. People are going to avoid you when you're the target of contention. Because people know, okay, if people are so angry with Kevin, let's say they see me with Kevin. If they don't dare to go after Kevin, they will go after me. So people begin to avoid you when they notice that a lot of people are angry with you. They do it out of self-protection. I don't approve of that cowardice, but I do understand why people are doing it. So again, backwards knowledge keeps you in danger. Isn't that what Jesus said? If someone wants to press you to walk 1 mile with them, go 2. Let me explain what Jesus meant with that. Look, in the Roman Empire, the Romans built roads, the Roman government. And it was the custom that on those highways you had soldiers marching from place to place. You had no buses, no automobiles, no trains, no airplanes, no helicopters, none of that. So people had to walk, or they had to use a horse, or they use a chariot, or if it's by water, they could use a ship. That's how it went. Now, a Roman soldier was entitled to ask a civilian to carry their luggage. Now, the luggage of a soldier was quite heavy. So the law was, a Roman soldier was only allowed to pick you from the street and force you to carry his luggage for 1 Roman mile. Because the luggage of a soldier is quite heavy, and if you were not a military man, it would exhaust you. So here's the thing. It often happens that you were on your way doing your thing, and some Roman soldier tells you, hey, carry my luggage. It was a type of, and people were upset with it. If you refused to carry the load, the soldier could arrest you, or he could even kill you and say it was self-defense. Who are they going to believe? They're going to take the side of the soldier. Okay, so refusing to participate in the bad situation was not an option. But what did Jesus tell them to do? If they press you to walk 1 mile, go 2 with them. Because here's the thing. The Roman soldier is only allowed to force you to carry his weight for 1 mile. If he forces you to go more than 1 mile and you end up fainting, he's in trouble. Because now the general will turn on him. You get me? And not only that, it will also make the Roman military look bad. So that's what Jesus meant. Let's say a Roman soldier comes and tells you, carry my loads. And after one tells you, okay, give it back. Say, no, sir, you're a Roman soldier. I want to go 2 miles with you. The moment you get pressed over 2 miles, he's going to take, oh crap, stop, don't go another mile. Stop walking. I get in trouble because of this. And the other people are going to see it. Other people are going to see you being exhausted by you carrying the weight of the Roman soldier. And this is going to cause public outrage in the public, and the Roman soldiers in trouble. So by doing this, after a while, Roman soldiers are going to realize, you know what? Let's stop doing this. Force them to carry our luggage. So Jesus actually taught us there, if there's a bad situation, you can't just refuse. Be smart enough to expose the situation without being violent. Expose the situation by allowing the other party to escalate. And once the other party escalates and you don't fight back, it's going to make them look bad because you're not fighting back. You get me? Now, does that mean you have to just allow anyone to take advantage of you? No. If you can walk away, you walk away. But if you can't walk away easily, do that. As simple as that. Even narcissists understand what Jesus said and they abuse it. The narcissist will call you 50 times a day, and one day they call you and you pick up the phone and you scream at them, tell them not to call you again. Then they will record it and say to the relatives, you see, I just called her and she just escalated on me. Those people don't know that this narcissist was stalking you for days, calling you 50 times a day. They don't know that. All those people see is you screaming at the individual on the phone. So they don't think, whoa, this individual screamed a lot. But those people are not interested in the whole story. All these people can see is that you screamed at the individual and they already heard the best stories about you. So them seeing you screaming on the phone is going to confirm the best stories heard about you. So now they have to examine those bad stories. But most of the time people don't. So they develop a dislike towards you. Now, if later it's exposed that the narcissist lied to them, now they don't want to take responsibility for believing the narcissist without examining it. Now they just don't want you to hold them accountable for complying with the narcissist. And when you hold them accountable, now they become your enemies. Because they're going to say, yes, we were wrong for believing the narcissist, but at least we apologize, whatever. No, they shouldn't have believed the narcissist. You should have examined the situation. So even narcissists use this to their advantage. Okay? So understand this. What Christ taught us there about going the extra mile, the narcissists use this against us. Christ didn't intend for narcissists to misuse this, but narcissists do. So why aren't we using this knowledge to our advantage? So one thing I want you to understand here. Not every battle is worth it. All right. I think I need to emphasize this more to you. Not every battle is worth it. Because think about it. If someone is a reprobate and they have nothing left to lose, they don't even care about their own safety, nor their own sanity. So they're quite dangerous. They're willing, able to do anything to be relevant. Are you going to fight an individual who lacks empathy, who lacks self-worth, who doesn't even care about their own safety nor sanity, and they have no off switch, they have no limit how far they would explode? Are you going to fight such an individual? Once they do you wrong, let me know in the live chat. Would you do that? Let me know. And if you wouldn't do it, why wouldn't you do it? Let me know that too. I'll give you 2 minutes to answer. All right, let me see. The question was, if someone has no self-worth, they don't care. They don't even care about their own safety nor their own sanity, and they have no off switch, so they have no limit how far they would escalate. Once they escalate, would you fight such an individual if they make a move against you? Let me know. Let me know in the live chat. Isaac, I don't know if you say yes because of something else someone said, but never do this. Indeed, you want to fight them because think about it. They have no off switch. They don't. They don't even care about their own safety or their own sanity. They don't care about their reputation. They have nothing left to lose. So there's no limit on what they will do. So once you fight back, they can use that as an excuse to explode. And once they explode, they will keep on exploding. With or without witnesses. Doesn't matter if they're witnesses, they can testify that it wasn't you. But even then, don't do it. And just like Joe said, they have no natural balance. And this is something I need to explain to you also. Hold on. There are times the community as a whole loses their natural balance as a community. Okay? Hold on. I'm removing this splinter from my finger. Okay, it's out. All right. When a community is fed up about the situation, those people may not be reprobates, they may not be evil people, they may not even be bad people, but once people are fed up with something, they lose their common and natural sense at that point. They go into a mind fog. When a crowd is upset and exhausted about the situation, they don't care who's guilty, who's innocent, just want it to stop. Once the crowd reaches that point, the crowd becomes dangerous. Any small word that they don't like may upset the crowd into lynching someone. That's why Jesus told us, do not cast your pearls before swine. If let's say you have a guy who is on trial for let's say he's on trial for rape, for example, and everyone is happy he's on trial. They hope he gets a long prison sentence. But then you look deeper in the case, and you look at who's the victim that complained about the rape. And look at the victim, and the victim is a hoe that keeps sleeping around all the time. And then you look at the defendant, and the defendant is not even a guy that loves to be around hoes. So then you look at the story behind the court case. You realize, hold on a minute, you doubt whether this guy committed the rape. And then you realize that the whole case of the prosecutor doesn't add up. And you decide as a journalist to publish an article about it, expose the whole case as a fraud. The readers of the newspaper are going to be happy with you for exposing it. Your employer may even give you a bonus for exposing the court case. But the courthouse is not going to be happy with you. And the public who was in on the fraudulent case is not going to be happy with you also. So once the judge has to intervene by releasing the defendant, the public is going to be mad. And because the man has been released by the judge, they cannot come after him anymore because he's been declared not guilty. So people won't go after the defendant anymore because he's not a defendant anymore. They will look up your name. Who's this son of a bitch who wrote that newspaper article? Who is he? You're going to Google your name. And there are going to be people looking for you, stalking you. And there will be people wanting to kill you, do something to you. Why? The reason the people were on wrongly convicting that other guy because they wanted some relief. They wanted to escalate on someone. And because it was someone intervening and exposing everything, the one that exposed it shut down their relief. So that became humiliation to the crowd. So now that set them off. Now before that you had the courthouse uh, ruining someone else's life. You had the courthouse destroying the victim on their behalf. So we're at ease. But now that the courthouse cannot destroy the victim, now they want a substitute. Now they're ready to lynch. So anytime you see a court case and the case doesn't add up, it's because the crowd is in on it. Now, you may think, you know what, this is a man that's being wrongly convicted. I need to do what's right by exposing this so the man can be freed. That's a noble thing. I agree with that. But if you see that the case is so outrageous that you think even a 5-year-old will not believe this, then know that the crowd has murder stanchions that they want to dump on someone. And because now they had a substitute victim be destroyed by the courthouse, they feel at ease. If you stop that court case, they may lynch and kill someone else just out of the blue. Doesn't mean you have to just allow it to happen. No, you can still expose it, but expose it in a practical way. You can make a YouTube account, you can make a YouTube troll account and spread information out there and the proof without showing your face or whatever. You can do that today. You don't have to write an article or go on television exposing it. No. So even when you do something about a bad situation, do it in a practical and tactical way. That's what Jesus meant with turning the other cheek. Dealing with the bad situation in a practical and tactical way so you can avoid being further harmed with the situation. All right? How many of you ever responded or reacted to a situation or which you later regret responding or reacting to that situation? You later thought, you know what, if I would just kept my mouth shut, if I just would have walked away, I would have prevented a lot of trouble. Have you ever been through such a situation which you later realized, me reacting, responding to that situation caused a lot of trouble later in life? You know, I better could have done it. How many of you have been through that? Let me know the live chat. The thing is, once you've responded or reacted, you can't take it back. So now, once the situation has exploded, then you have to deal with the explosion. Look, Jesus did not say you should always keep your mouth shut to prevent worse. There were times Jesus opened his mouth and exposed things. There were times Christ acted. Think about when he went to the temple and there were money changers exploiting the poor. He turned on them. He whipped them out of the temple and overthrew their tables. So there are times you have to act and do something. Jesus is not saying, you know what, just stay quiet to prevent worse. No, there are times you should act. But when you act in a practical and successful way. Act only when the Holy Spirit permits you to. If the Holy Spirit tells you don't do anything, don't do anything. So I'm telling you again, not every knowledge you were raised in by your community or by your parents is good, or even by your church. Examine whether the knowledge is profitable knowledge or beneficial knowledge, or whether it's backwards knowledge. Backwards knowledge will get you killed. Backwards knowledge will get your family hurt. Backwards knowledge will cause you to regret listening to certain people. I'm telling you, if you have children, beware with backwards knowledge, because your backwards knowledge will even endanger your children. Look, once you cross the Jordan as a believer, once you graduate into sainthood, you have power. You can use power on the community on your behalf. You can do that. So let's say that people, you feel like people don't like you, feel like people have issues against you. You decree, declare, and you backfire in negative tension, and before you know it, people move out of your neighborhood. That is something you can do. Look, it comes down to this. The moment you pick up in your inner radar something's off, go into the spiritual offensive. Go into prayers, go pray, go decree, declare, go fasting, become active immediately. If you feel tired out of the blue, while you slept well, you ate well, you were not exhausted, but you feel fatigue out of the blue, that's a sign of psychic violence. So now you're going to think, I've been feeling tired a lot lately. If you know, I sleep well, I eat well, I have no health issues. It's psychic violence. What you do is, let's say you go and pray. You decree and declare that negative tensions backfire onto the senders. You begin to send peace out of you. Let's say you take spiritual offensive. A few days later, you find out that 2 colleagues resigned from the job where you work at. Then you hear that 4 people moved out of your neighborhood. And you realize that suddenly people tend to avoid you. They don't. They just see you and they get scared. They avoid you. What's going on? You felt psychic violence against you. And from that point on, you took action against it on the spirit level. And by doing this, you shut it down. And by shutting it down, the perpetrators and enablers face consequences. And now that they face consequences, they're afraid of facing you, so they leave. That's something you can do. But if you haven't crossed the Jordan yet, if you're not operating in power as a believer yet, then the best thing you can do is just get out of a situation. Because it's only after you cross the Jordan that you are operating in leverage to actually confront the public spiritually. Do you get me? Even after crossing the Jordan, you're not going to just confront any situation. No, you're not dumb. But once you cross the Jordan, you're so sensitive to the spirit world, you can pick up any negative vibration anywhere against you or against your family. You can take action against it. So, in that case, it's the people that have issues against you that end up moving away. But if you're not on that level yet of walking in power, then the only thing you can do is just get out of a situation. Even when you have the power, you get out of situations, but you do confront them. You don't notice it yourself when you cross the Jordan. You notice you cross the Jordan when you are praying, decreeing, declaring more frequently, and people begin to flee from you. People begin, sudden violence stops against you, and people somehow, for some reason, end up cooperating with you. Once these things happen, you know you've crossed the Jordan. And your mindset has changed. Your mindset is more centered on Christ and centered on your own relief. So being Christ-centered in your mind, combined with danger fleeing from you, and you having a leverage in every situation, and people being reluctant to confront you, then you know you've crossed the Jordan. Because sooner or later, you're going to realize any action against you backfires. You know what? Let's get out of here. Yeah, man. So understand this. This knowledge is quite important. Much of the knowledge you've got from, let me say, every knowledge you get from society is tainted, is polluted, one way or the other. Many of our parents or many of our caretakers while growing up, unless they were bad people, they taught us the best way they could. So appreciate the best they did for you, but now as an adult, take responsibility by reflecting on what they taught you and by outgrowing backwards knowledge once you recognize it. When you cross the Jordan, you'll be able to get away with more things. You'll be able to just walk into a mall and nobody likes you and nobody dares even to look angry at you because you crossed the Jordan. Because they feel backfire even when you're about to arrive near the mall. If you haven't crossed the Jordan, people may even feel comfortable screaming at you, looking angry at you. Once you cross the Jordan, it's going to be different. And I've crossed the Jordan for a while, so I know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Once you cross the Jordan and you're operating in power, a lot of people are not even feel comfortable looking at you or thinking about you the wrong way. They're just going to flee and run away when they see you because they know that if they don't comply, consequences. And if they do comply, they're going to feel humiliated, and humiliation will afflict them mentally. So either way, they lose. So they run away. So let them run away. Let them run away. Don't go after them. Let them run away. How do you think I'm still alive, safe and sound today? How else do you think I'm still alive, safe and sound, and nobody even dares to come too close to me with bad intentions? I've crossed the Jordan and I walk in full power. Anytime I feel any type of bad vibration, man, I go on the spiritual offensive directly. I begin to pray. I begin to fast immediately to figure out what's going on. When you're like that, walking by faith, nothing shall by no means harm you. That's why nothing by no means harms me, because I walk in the power. Christ said, I gave you power to trample upon scorpions and serpents and the whole camp of the enemy, and nothing shall by no means harm you. That's what I'm operating in. The same thing you should do. Mm-hmm. All right. So, thanks for being here and listening to this live stream. Look, if you have any questions relating to this topic, you can ask them now. I give you 2 minutes. If I don't get any questions after 2 minutes, I'll close down the live stream. If you have to go now, you can go. Thanks for listening. Always remain in prayer, agree with Christ. Okay, I'll wait till I get some questions right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll wait for 30 seconds more. All right. All right. I haven't received any questions. Thanks for being here. Give a cream with Christ. I'll see you next time, next live stream.